Hello, Barbara Derrick here today, day 18. No music this morning, but we can, or this afternoon. I got lost in my days here. I have just moving things around again here so I can see comments when they come in. Okay, yesterday I presented relief art. Relief as in plaster work, and I was showing you what could be done with creating textures with lino. And we also talked a little bit about the thought of the day. And today I think I will go to the law of pain, which is John Maxwell. And I note as an artist and within when we're developing our creativity, as we move forward, and I talked a little bit about mistakes, and you'll always hear me talk about mistakes because they're really not mistakes. If we have been doing something for the first time, it gets better the second time, and then it doesn't totally evolve until we figure out that problem. We are solving a problem. And with the arts, what I discovered is if we've been away from a certain technique for a little while, not only do we fail forwards, but we also discover some additional things that may be a whole lot better for us. Like after yesterday's introduction on the relief art, I decided this morning that I needed to go and do something further with that. And when I think about when I've done a mistake, it's on a canvas and I'm doing so well, like my sundial picture the other day. I went and added gold, and I thought gold would look good with it, and no, it kind of muddied the colors, and now I'm looking at it like it's almost a loss, but it's not. And the reason why I say that is because it's just that one little thing, and I think I need to go back to the white and then accent the sundials with white, and it'll pop it again. So it's things like that. Or we're all familiar with, oh, I don't want to touch it because I'm going to ruin it. This is my favorite. And when I look at the amount of work I've done, and like the sundial yesterday, I'm not too intrigued with how it's looking at the moment. But like I said, the solution is to go back to the original sundial color, which is white. And that was after 2 hours of experimenting. And so I'm getting back into the creative zone. Today, with that, I call it pain, because it's painful. We all know how painful it is to work so hard on something, and we do that one, we just overdo it a little bit, like I did, and ding! So I want to show you something after I've worked on it quite a bit, working with the roller brushes, the textures, the inlays, and getting familiar with the types of materials and the length of time and being patient for them to dry, and the transparency. Okay, this buffalo here is what I aspire to do in texture. And I'm going to share a tip, show you a canvas, but I've come a little bit ahead in terms of a cheap or economic. It's more economical. It's not cheap, it's economical when it comes to the materials, the differences that I've used in this painting of mixed media as opposed to the one I'm going to show you today. Okay. I have a small table here, and I see that my green screen is showing some of the background. I didn't notice that until now. Fail forward. You are witnessing some of the things that occur when we're riding an avenue of virtual reality. This is the virtual room, and those are some of the things that we have to contend with. Is again the lighting, the atmosphere, the sound, and so right behind me over there I like, oh, oops. So I can always crop that out when I bring it up to YouTube or whatnot if I want. Anyways, back to my focus, my train of thought. And oops, let's get rid of the background here, the background. Oops. See, I'm trying to get rid of this. Most of you would want to have somebody doing this for you. Okay, I can't seem to fix that, so I'm going to transparent. Will that work? Ta-da! Okay, that was simple. It's not simple when you're looking for it. Okay. Okay, this is a painting I did a few years back with mixed media, and I'm going to be talking behind my painting to you, so bear with me a minute. And you'll notice, and I'm going to show you under the camera in a second, this is all texture. And up here, this is all texture. Okay, let me pop it underneath the iPhone for you because you don't want to miss this, and I'm going to share the tip after. Okay, I'm going to pop us down to the camera here. Okay. This here is all done by acrylic paste before I've painted it. And it gives it that raised image, as well as the background. You'll see some of that there. Okay. And this is also, when I was talking to you yesterday about lino art, this is kind of the thinking here. You can find little pieces anywhere in the dollar store or whatnot that have the holes already punched for you, and you can lay them and do a series of spatuling the molding paste in. But I have something even better than that I'm going to try. As you can see, as I lift it up closer, there's so much texture in here, it really makes it a whole lot of fun. And you look at the bear's eyes, and I built the paste up around the eye and left this onto the canvas. Okay, so I'm setting that back, and I want to go ahead and show you what I'm working on. Okay. Now, no. Remember I said plaster wall relief art. And I'm getting better at this, okay. So what I did is I did an outline, and the outline I filled with a paste. It's drywall, and I'm going to get it for you in a second here. After I painted the background, I put this down. Now I want to also show you something here. I'm looking for my... Okay, this one. This is in black and white. You can also do this in Microsoft Word. Take your picture and drop it into Microsoft Word and change the color, fade it to black and white. But I use this so that I can see the grains or the movement of the fur. Okay, and as you notice that this is, I'm looking at the first layer when I do this plaster art, as well as this. This is going to be the second layer here, and I'm thinking this horn, I want it to be the one that sticks right out, is going to be the third layer of plaster, if that makes sense. So I'm following the direction of the fur to create a texture. Okay, and we go back to showing you what the bucket of, just a sec here. I think that artist supplies, whether it depends on what you're creating and for who the audience is that you're creating. Okay? Because with this, what I'm going to show you, there are experiences that it may crack or that you have to do a lot of sanding. And then with the molding paste, it doesn't matter whether it's soft or hard. It is kind of like liquid plaster or liquid plastic. So when I showed you the bear and you put that, glomp that on, and you haven't taken time to smooth out some of the bumps and the ripples, it's going to dry like that. Whereas with plaster, you could possibly sand it and smooth it out, and take a like a razor blade or a fine tip. I'm trying to think of something like a knife tip, and just start to carve. Your carving tools may come in handy for this, but also knowing that you need to be actually really gentle. So with that being said, with the tools and the materials, I'm using wallboard joint compound. That's right. Yeah. Well, I was playing with it the other day, and I noticed that you can pipe it a whole lot better than plaster and glue. Now, plaster and glue, and I want to clarify this, is good for this art, but it's going to take some time. What I would not do is do it on a wall. And that is because I've discovered it's a lot harder to sand unless you would like to sand it with, your face mask. Of course, we're going to do that. But this one, you may need a Dremel to get the finish nice and smooth and whatnot. So this is just something that I've learned from my experience, that when we're doing the canvas work here, and I'm talking plaster, where was I going with this? When we're talking plaster, is that it's great for the canvas, but if you're going to do an exhibit or a gallery expose, I would suggest to use the molding paste, because it's in the line of golden and some other materials that are highly priced because of their quality, if that makes sense. I'm experimenting, and it's an exploration of different textures using different pastes and exploring the ideas around glue, plaster, or acrylic polymers, if I must say. Okay, so we're going to go down back here to my buffalo, and I just showed you the paste, and I have a toothpick here, and what I've been doing is, as it's drying, I'm putting in, and I'm smooth, not digging deep. There's some layers that I want to I'm not going to be putting another layer of plaster on top of this piece here, where the fur, like I said, all this piece here, and just his head is going to get a second round, and then the horn I want third. Okay, so I can do this. It's going to take possibly, I love it when you're waiting for something to dry, and it feels like it takes longer. And when we're not paying attention, what happens is it seems to dry in minutes. And you see what I've created here is some fantastic ripples. And the paint, when you go to use the paints over this, acrylic paint, what'll happen is you're going to get that three-dimensional look to it, depth, created by depth. Okay. Okay. Now in pottery there's a term called slip, where you take clay and you mix it with water and you make a paste. Well, this one I really like because when you open one of these barrels, there's always a bit of water or moisture to it. And when it begins hard, when it gets hardened, when it looks like it's drying out, you add a little bit more water. You have to be very careful not to put too much. But this one you can just mix in a bowl some of the compound and add a little bit of water. Now, when you pop this, I got this bottle at the dollar store, and you'll notice, see, there's the tip, right? There's just the compound is in there. Oops. I've got to watch what I'm doing. My workspace is very small. Okay. And why I'm showing you this is because I'm going to shake that down. If you could see me, when I squeeze this out, you can make raised and embossed. The raised, what do you call it? The relief, sorry. It raises the texture of the fur, and you can see that I've etched some of it already in. Once you're done with this, you'll have to, once you're finished with the bottle, you will have to wash it out really good. But it's like piping. It reminds me of cakes. And if you have iced cakes and love decorating, then you're really gonna like this. You can also do this same kind of thing, except for, let's say, this outline that you're making with this, fill it with glue and just have the kids do something on a canvas board like what I'm doing. After they paint the board, then they would do this and let the glue dry. Tomorrow, what I would like to do, and I'm going to sit here for another hour to finish doing this, but tomorrow I would like to do a little bit more with you and show you what we're going to do when it comes to painting and the layering that goes on with the painting, which is also really fun. And you know that it's going to take me a while to do quite a bit of this. I need the picture as a reference for where this fur is all going, because I don't want him to look like a fish. Okay. If you've liked what I presented today, don't forget to like and share and come on in. Every day we're on 18. What I did is I decided to just talk briefly about the pain of making mistakes and finding the solution for it. The solutions are always just huge. Like today, yesterday I discovered there was a new material that I could use for this art. And I'm sharing it to give you something that you can play with. Like the white glue is easy enough in the household. If you create a design and it's raised, it's awesome when you go and paint that raised surface and to just explore what it does and with what colors and all that kind of thing. If you found this really useful, please like and share, and drop your comments below. I enjoy the comments. And one of the inboxes I got was from a friend, Teresa, who mentioned that, hey, could you show me a little bit more about the relief art, the plaster relief art, and some more techniques. So this is why I came and I added to what I did yesterday. And tomorrow will be part 3, where we look at maybe, and when it's dry, painting of it and creating like what that bear looked like. All right. Love you all, and I hope this brought some kind of sunshine to your day. Alrighty, bye-bye for now.